The Vietnam War witnessed a unique form of psychological warfare, the use of the Ace of Spades playing card. This seemingly innocuous object became a potent tool of intimidation and psychological manipulation. The Ace of Spades, often dubbed the Death card, instilled fear in the hearts of many Vietnamese while boosting American troop morale. Its effectiveness stemmed from the calculated manipulation of symbolism and superstition. This essay explores the origins of this practice, examining its impact on the psychological landscape of the Vietnam War. The association of the Ace of Spades with death and ill fortune predates the Vietnam War. This connection has deep roots in history, spanning across various cultures and centuries. In various cultures, the spade suit is linked to death, darkness, or the unknown. The spade, with its sharp, pointed shape, has often been seen as a symbol of mortality and the mysteries that lie beyond life. The Ace of Spades, being the highest card in this suit, naturally amplified these connotations. Its prominence in the deck made it a powerful symbol, one that carried significant weight and meaning. In 18th century Britain, it was used as a tax stamp on playing cards to curb tax evasion. The British government mandated that the Ace of Spades be stamped to indicate that the appropriate taxes had been paid. The card's association with death took a literal turn when Richard Harding was hanged in 1805 for forging these stamps. This dramatic event further solidified the card's ominous reputation. This event cemented the Ace of Spades' place as a symbol of ill fate. The public's perception of the card was forever changed, linking it irrevocably with misfortune and death. During World War I, the British Army's 12th Eastern Division adopted the Ace of Spades as their insignia, believing it represented bad luck for enemies and good fortune for their ranks. This use of the card as a military symbol added a new layer to its storied history. This set the stage for its deployment in the Vietnam War. Soldiers would leave the Ace of Spades on the bodies of fallen enemies, a psychological tactic meant to instill fear and demoralize the opposition. The card's journey from a simple playing card to a symbol of death and psychological warfare is a testament to its powerful and enduring legacy. The Vietnam War provided fertile ground for the Ace of Spades to re-emerge as a tool of psychological warfare. During this tumultuous period, American soldiers were constantly seeking innovative ways to demoralize the enemy and bolster their own morale. The Ace of Spades, with its pre-existing symbolism, became a potent weapon in this psychological battle. The card, already steeped in mystique and fear, was repurposed to serve a new, strategic function on the battlefield. American soldiers sought ways to demoralize the enemy and bolster their own morale. The practice of using the Ace of Spades originated with the 506th Infantry Regiment of the 101st Airborne Division. Soldiers scattered these cards across battlefields on fallen Viet Cong soldiers and in Viet Cong-controlled areas to instill fear and assert dominance. This tactic was not just about the physical presence of the card, but the psychological impact it had on the enemy. The Ace of Spades, with its pre-existing symbolism, became a potent weapon. The sight of the card was meant to convey a message of impending doom and inevitable defeat to the Viet Cong. The practice originated with the 506th Infantry Regiment of the 101st Airborne Division. This regiment was known for its innovative and effective psychological tactics. Soldiers scattered these cards across battlefields, on fallen Viet Cong soldiers, and in Viet Cong-controlled areas to instill fear and assert dominance. The cards served as a constant reminder of the American presence and their psychological warfare tactics. The U.S. Playing Card Company produced special decks containing only the Ace of Spades for military use. This mass production underscores its significance as a psychological weapon. The Ace of Spades became more than just a card. It was a symbol of American ingenuity in psychological warfare, a testament to the lengths soldiers would go to gain an upper hand in the conflict. The effectiveness of the Ace of Spades as a psychological weapon stemmed from exploiting symbolism and cultural beliefs. For the Viet Cong, encountering the Ace of Spades evoked fear, anxiety, and a sense of being targeted. The card's appearance on battlefields served as a reminder of their mortality and the threat posed by American forces. For American soldiers, the Ace of Spades was a morale booster, symbolizing aggression and dominance. Leaving these cards behind enemy lines was a way of claiming territory and asserting power. The psychological impact on both sides was profound. While the Ace of Spades served as a morale booster for some American soldiers, it was not without its critics. Some found the practice disrespectful, dehumanizing, and counterproductive to winning the hearts and minds of the Vietnamese people. The use of psychological warfare raises moral and ethical questions. Critics argued that such tactics reflected poorly on the U.S. military and fueled anti-American sentiment. The effectiveness of the Ace of Spades as a psychological weapon is debatable. Its legacy in Vietnam remains complex, highlighting the ethical dilemmas inherent in psychological warfare. The use of the Ace of Spades as a psychological weapon in Vietnam remains contentious. This tactic, employed by U.S. forces, was intended to instill fear and confusion among the Viet Cong. The card, often associated with death in Western culture, was believed to have a similar effect on the Vietnamese soldiers. However, the reality was far more complex. Proponents argue for its effectiveness, while critics condemn it as a crude and disrespectful tactic. Supporters claim that it saved lives by demoralizing the enemy without direct confrontation. On the other hand, detractors highlight the ethical implications and the potential for cultural insensitivity. Exploiting cultural symbols for military gain raises concerns about cultural sensitivity and respect. The Ace of Spades, a symbol with varied meanings, was repurposed in a way that disregarded its cultural significance to the Vietnamese people. The Ace of Spades was manipulated to evoke fear, disregarding the cultural context of the war. This tactic not only affected the enemy but also had unintended consequences on the local population, who were often caught in the crossfire. The tactic's potential to inflict psychological trauma on both recipients and deployers cannot be ignored. Soldiers tasked with distributing these cards often faced moral dilemmas, questioning the humanity of their actions. The ethical debate surrounding the Ace of Spades serves as a reminder that adherence to ethical principles and respect for human dignity should remain paramount. The psychological impact on both sides of the conflict underscores the need for ethical considerations in warfare. Psychological warfare tactics warrant careful consideration and ethical scrutiny. As we reflect on the use of the Ace of Spades in Vietnam, it is crucial to remember the broader implications of such strategies on human lives and cultural heritage. The use of playing cards as tools of psychological warfare has not been confined to the Vietnam War. The allure of exploiting symbolism has led to similar tactics in other conflicts. Notably, during the 2003 invasion of Iraq, the most wanted Iraqi playing cards featured images of high-ranking Iraqi officials. The intent was to demoralize the enemy by highlighting their vulnerability. The effectiveness of this tactic is debatable, with mixed reactions. The recurring use of playing cards in warfare